Good morning, YouTube. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Ohio today, and I'm sitting in my garden. Yes, I am sitting on the ground because I suddenly had an inkling to make you guys a video after talking to a lady at the gym today who came up to me and she said, "Hey, I heard that you help people with anxiety." And I said, "Yes, I do. You heard right." And she said to me, "I just don't know if anyone or anything can help me because I have had so much trauma. I've had anxiety for so long, and I just really feel like it's hopeless." So she had a belief that she is hopelessly defective. And that is the one belief that if you have it, you want to get over it. Now, no one is hopelessly defective. And I said to her, "I know why you believe that, because you've been struggling for so long." And she said, "I don't remember ever not having anxiety." And honestly, I could have said the same thing. I had a rough childhood those first years. My mom was a biker. My mom was a drug addict. So my world was literally dangerous. My nervous system upregulated. I had anxiety as a small child, and I had anxiety for decades. Most of my adult life. I'm 55 now, and I live a life of peace. When I say I had anxiety, it was severe. It was at least as severe as this individual I was talking to this morning. Now, I won't pretend like my story is everybody else's. There were traumas I didn't go through. And there were traumas that, you didn't have that I had. We're all different, but no one should ever feel like they've been traumatized so much that they cannot recover. Because how trauma and criticism and abuse affects us is by imprinting into our mind beliefs about ourselves, about life, about the world. So I grew up believing that I didn't matter. Now, why did I believe that? Because I didn't matter, and I say that tongue-in-cheek, enough to my mom for her to quit drinking. Now, my dad didn't drink, and even though he got custody of me when I was, 6, my dad was not a drinker. I had a safe home after that, thankfully. That doesn't mean I didn't have issues. I still went and visited my mom, and there was still things going on in those visits that was traumatic for me. My dad did his best to protect me, but things happened. But because of that, I had these beliefs. I developed beliefs, the belief that I didn't matter. I wasn't worth giving up alcohol for. Now, of course, if you know the nature of addiction, that my mom didn't drink because she didn't love me. My mom was a traumatized individual herself. And so, it's not that an addict doesn't love you, it's that they have an addiction. So I understand that now as an adult, but before I understood that, I developed beliefs about myself, and those beliefs entrenched themselves in my subconscious. Then I go to school, and I began to believe I was stupid, which is ironic because I learned later I actually have a pretty high IQ, and I'm not stupid. But as a child, I thought I was stupid because I struggled with learning things. I struggled learning to read. I really struggled with math. Now, why did I struggle? Because I'm in survival mode as a kid, and I know a lot of you can relate to that. When you're just trying to survive emotionally and psychologically because of what you've been through, your top priority is not reading and math. So my head was filled with all sorts of stuff. I struggled, and I'm put in a special class, or I'm told that I'm slow, or I'm told that I'm stupid. That became my belief. So it was those beliefs that I developed that affected me. They become entrenched in the subconscious mind, and they result in thinking patterns. And so, of course, my thinking was negative about myself, about whether I could trust people. My thinking was negative about life in general. Now, as a result of toxic negative thinking, you're going to have a lot of emotions that are uncomfortable. Because if you've remembered in my previous video, wow, it's windy. In a previous video, I talked about how uncomfortable emotions are loving messengers from your brain to you to let you know 3 things. Something in the past needs to heal, something in your present needs to change. 3rd thing, and it's most likely you have toxic beliefs. So our uncomfortable emotions are a good thing. They let us know, hey, here's a place you need to heal. So if you have a lot of negative, toxic thinking that came about from your past, from your childhood, of course, you're going to have a lot of uncomfortable emotions, anger, anxiety, depression. It's not your fault. It's not because you're a bad person or you're mentally ill or your brain is broke. And it doesn't matter how much toxic thinking, how much trauma you've had, you can literally shift your thinking when you work with your subconscious. That's why my last video was on how to start your day right with these positive morning affirmations. And so yeah, I made that for you guys to help you to begin to shift that thinking. And that's a lot of the subconscious work that I do and a lot of the videos that you'll see coming up. But now I live, honestly, in a state of peace of mind and happiness, and I will tell you that's not all of the time. It's never possible to live in a state of peace of mind and happiness 24/7. Do I have bad days? Yeah. Do I ever spiral down into negative thinking? Yes. But it's not 24/7 like it used to be. I can pull out of that. I can go, okay, wait a second, Tiffani. Your thinking is bad. You're getting into a bad mindset. You can straighten that out. Because you will get better at identifying your negative thinking, identifying that negative self-talk, and shifting it over time. So it probably feels to some of you like you've got a lot of problems right now, but you really only have one. Okay, I'm talking about internal. Some of us have some external problems. Your problem internally is shifting that thinking. Now, as I sit here in this garden, one of the reasons I'm sitting here to make the video today was there is something else you can do other than shifting your thinking that will help you overcome anxiety. And it's something that people don't talk about that much. Now, you understand that there's a certain quality of gas that you have to put in your car. If you spend money on a car, you're probably not going to find the cheapest gas in the whole town, the most convenient gas in the whole town, if you know that gas is not going to be good for your car. And yet all the time, we take our most precious possession, our health and our life, and we fill it with crap, processed food, sugar, things that are produced in factories that don't care about you or your health. And then we expect our bodies and our brains to function normally. I know that it is important. It was important for me to heal, to not just shift my thinking, but shift the way I ate, okay? Now, can you overcome anxiety and depression without shifting to a healthy diet? A lot of you can do that, yeah. I wasn't eating as good as I am now, and I overcame my anxiety and depression. However, have you ever been really just sick or you have a headache and then you're just more irritable? It's just easier for you to be negative if you're having a day when you feel poorly. If you have a hangover, you don't feel well, probably it's going to be a rougher day for you. It's going to be harder for you to be positive. So living in the way that nature intended is really pivotal for you to find that ultimate peace of mind. Because if you overcome your anxiety and your life is just, okay, life is just boring, blasé, you know, that's okay. It's better than having anxiety, but why not keep going until you have absolute ultimate peace of mind? And so that's really what this channel is about. So I wanted to share with you how you should think about food. I wanted to share that with you because it's so vitally important that you fuel your brain so that as you make these mindset shifts, your brain has the fuel it needs to create new neural connections for new thought patterns and behaviors. And there's really one simple rule. Eat whole, natural foods. Eat foods that your great-great-grandmother would recognize. She was not eating Cheetos and Reese's Cups and processed cereals. It doesn't have to be something you do overnight, but I want you to think about fueling your brain with the food that, whether you believe in creation or evolution, I'm not here to create division. It doesn't matter. We did not evolve when we were not created to eat processed, sugary, chemical-laden food. So I want to show you this beautiful garden. This garden supplies food for my family, and it's a lot of work, but it also provides a lot of peace of mind and satisfaction, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to switch. Oh, I guess I can't switch my camera. Still learning. Okay, so over here I've got my lovely strawberries. Literally hundreds of pounds of strawberries we'll probably get next year. And we took out a lot of stuff. Got some garlic and Swiss chard, carrots, turnips and beets, tomatoes that are on their way out, some red cabbage, kale, all of this really good, natural, whole food. There's my lovely boyfriend putting some leaves in there. We're building up the soil with natural organic matter. So as you can see, we put a lot of effort because there is nothing more important than taking care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you are sending a message that you're not important to your brain. Take care of yourself. You don't have to suddenly eat perfect, but you do need to make the changes. So I want to encourage you, and I want to tell you that having this garden has been one of the most life-giving, joyous experiences of my life. It's a lot of work, but it brings pleasure, and nothing makes me more happy than to be out here on the weekend or in the evening in the sunshine, which is another healthy thing for your body, in the fresh air, just enjoying something that I'm creating with my own hands. It's nourishing my body and nourishing my brain, so that as I'm learning to think different, I am creating these new neural connections fueled on this wonderful life-giving food. And I hope you enjoyed my garden and my video, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.